Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Monday's main event. This is a product of your fan-requested Friday lineup. All the four winners of their respective matchups. Ronnie Coleman, 2001, Gastavo Badell, 2005, 2008 Iron Man of Phil Heath. And the New York Pro 2021, Nick Walker, gets thrown in with these early 2000 athletes and late 90s for Ronnie Coleman, as early as early 90s, actually. Very difficult to judge a lineup. Very difficult to judge three different camera angles, or four different camera angles, rather. Not three, four, but it's all the lighting's different, things of that nature. Very difficult to make a decision. So, kind of playing around with this one. Don't take this too serious, guys. I see some comments suggesting that the lighting, all things of that nature are different. I understand that, but like I said, we have fun with this and see, which one of these athletes would really win. Let's face it, guys. 2001, Ronnie Coleman. It was not the best Coleman whatsoever. He was not as separated. He was, let's face it, too smooth monsoon. Little too smooth. But he was still Ronnie Coleman. You have to face that as well. Look at the wheel size. Just destroying everybody. As well as the arms. But is that going to be enough? I don't think it's enough to defeat Phil Heath. I think we're going to go ahead and give Phil Heath the win. And maybe Ronnie could get second? I don't know. Nick Walker looks pretty darn good as well. And Gastavo Badell, as good as his upper body is, I don't think he has the lower half to combat against the other three. So like I said, very difficult, guys, to make a decision like this. Nick Walker, actually, a pretty thick midsection as well, but very separated. Very separated. I don't know, guys. It's a toss-up for second place for between Nick Walker, Ronnie Coleman. I will go back and review it, I guess. We got to carry on to the front lat spread. Coleman, he's so big, so huge. There is definitely an argument this time. He looks a little more conditioned in this picture also. Worth to mention, for sure he does. In that front double by, it was very exposing to his midsection. This time, look at the size of the quads on the man. Phil Heath, a little narrow in the upper body, I have to say. But he has a very small waistline. So in my opinion, he does defeat a Nick Walker. He defeats a Nick Walker. Nick Walker, you could see that from the front double by, that his midsection was a little on the wide side. But hey, that's just one of those things that you have to deal with as a bodybuilder. Nobody's perfect. Good wheels, good upper body, like I said, but I see Phil defeating him. I think Gastavo, once again, might be falling last in line here. No disrespect to the man whatsoever. I don't know. Maybe give him an edge over Nick. Because of that midsection. I would say. Coleman's just so gosh darn big that he has to defeat Gastavo and Walker. But does he defeat Phil Heath here? Maybe. He's so unsymmetrical. And Phil, it's a pretty pose for him. Let's face it. Again, I'm going to have to review this one. These four ways are difficult, guys. Turn to the side. And always a challenge to size these guys in this shot here in particular. You can see every individual here bending at the knee to a different posture. Ronnie Coleman probably standing the straightest. And he's the tallest. So that's why I made him, towering over everybody else. Gastavo bending a substantial amount. Phil Heath bending down, almost sitting down. So, like I said, guys, very difficult and debatable. So, before you go ahead and comment about the sizing, hey, I went back and forth. Been doing this for a while, and this is, I guess, what we're going to settle on. And if you think one's too big, one's too small, just assume that they're stepping forward, or they're behind the line. All right. Phil Heath, he stands out as far as the conditioning, the tie-ins, the glutes, things of that nature. But he's also a standout for last place as far as the display, the chest, things of that nature. Quite a split in his pec. Gastavo Badell looks fantastic in this shot. He looks aesthetic. Just very pleasing, of course. And Nick Walker, not too bad. He almost has what it takes to defeat Phil Heath. But like I said, the quality, the tie-ins, the glutes, for goodness sakes, the arms. Phil, of course he's beating Nick, but Nick looks so good. You know, this pose, maybe not his best shot, but that just goes to show you he doesn't really have any weak shots. Then there's Coleman. Where do you put him? First or dead last? There's no in between with this guy. You either like his side chest or you do not. I do. He looks tall. He looks pronounced. It's not the best Ronnie Coleman, of course. What a tight decision. I definitely will have to review the side chest, but we have to carry on, guys. Side tricep, definitely anything but Ronnie Coleman's best pose at all. But the thing of it is, here in maybe one of his worst Olympia winning versions, maybe, arguably, he has maybe one of his best side tricep poses. You see that tricep on the man? He's almost defeating Phil Heath. I would say he probably is defeating Phil Heath. That's incredible to think that. Phil Heath is an easy second place, I would say. And I think Nick Walker would fall last in line, giving Gastavo Badell the third place. For sure, looks more aesthetically pleasing, similar in size, conditioning, things of that nature. Phil Heath with that strided tricep. I'm sure a lot of you would give him a victory over Ronnie Coleman. But Coleman, he's a beast here in 2001, in particular in the side tricep. Go to the first back shot, rear lat spread, and it's always going to be a debate between Phil Heath and Ronnie Coleman in both of the back shots. This time, I don't know, guys. Conditioning to Phil Heath, I would say hamstrings, things of that nature. Not a very clear picture of Coleman, but I think we're safe to say that the lower half, you'd give the conditioning edge to the gift. The width, the size, the traps, things of that nature. Coleman all the way. You can see in the Christmas tree area, things of that nature. The guy is strided, but Phil is so three-dimensional here. Lighting is pretty darn good too, let's face it, for Phil Heath. Oh, what a decision. I think I will review both of the back shots and then make a decision, but let's face it, guys. I will definitely be handing out a win or a loss in all of these shots, and I will give you my opinion when it's all over. Nick Walker, I think, with a clear win, almost catching up to Phil Heath, for goodness sakes. A clear win over Gastavo Badell, who falls last in line. Go to the rear double. With all due respect, keep in mind, these guys are all great athletes. Gastavo and Nick Walker, obviously, they're probably not going to win this one, and it's going to be between Coleman and the gift, Phil Heath. In this shot here, I think Coleman just exhibits a superiority when you throw those arms in the equation. Just looks so huge. Phil could get the win here. Technically, he's a little bit more conditioned, maybe more symmetrical, things of that nature. And obviously, again, hey, as good as Gastavo is, Nick Walker is a beast from behind. So I think if it's between them two for third place, for sure, I would give it to Walker. And I don't know, guys, maybe an edge. It looks like Coleman's winning from behind. Maybe both back shots. Go to the abs and thigh. Ronnie Coleman, as big as he is huge. He's much more massive than all the other gentlemen. Structurally and muscle mass as well. But I don't care. I'm giving him the fourth place in this lineup. For sure. The worst midsection. Little too smooth monsoon. Little too smooth monsoon. Ooh, it's a good little tune. Look how small those wheels are of Gastavo Badell. No wonder he could never defeat Coleman. And Jay Cutler. Now he is defeating Coleman here in this pose, I would say, because his midsection looks fantastic. I think Nick Walker's getting an edge over Gastavo. Maybe not in the upper body. I would say Gastavo maybe have the second best upper body here. But as far as the wheels are concerned, Nick Walker has his number. He's eating him up. And Phil Heath looks like a brand new car here. Fantastic. Looks like a Ferrari. A European car. I am from Europe. Now give me my hairspray. I want the good kind. Vidal Sassoon. Go to the most muscular. Finish this fantastic matchup off. And you can notice Ronnie Coleman right away. Looks like he's freeze-dried here. Looks like he's evaporated all the liquid out of his physique. It's the finals, and he did make up for how too smooth monsoon he was for the pre-show. But hey, history is history. He looked not quite so good, so everybody remembers that. But I think he's doing more than enough here to defeat everybody. In particular, you throw some muscle separation in those quads, you could see truly how dominant he would have been in that area. Nick Walker, guys. I don't know if it's the camera angle or what. Maybe I made him too big. I don't know. He is bending at the knees a little bit more than Phil Heath. But it looks like he's bigger than Phil. Looks like he's taking him in this shot. Anybody else agree with me? I don't know. Looks like he is for sure. Massive, massive. And poor Gastavo Badell. Poor dude. He got thrown in the wrong lineup. Got thrown in the wrong lineup for sure. Anyway, guys, this is your top 4, and in 4th place, we have Gastavo Badell, and that should be no surprise to anybody. He has 29 points. But you got to think, ladies and gentlemen, you have 2 of arguably the greatest of all time, Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath, and then you have Nick Walker, an up-and-comer, a very strong and hungry young challenger for the throne, I am sure. And speaking of Nick Walker, in 3rd place is that man in question, Nick Walker, the New York Pro, 2021. What an athlete, guys, and he is just getting warmed up, if you ask me. Looks fantastic. And he has 23 points, 6 less, I believe, than Gastavo, 29 points. Here is Phil Heath with 14 points. So many less than Nick Walker. So many less. So he's quite a bit ahead of him. Wait a second, guys. Ronnie Coleman here in 2001 in this matchup. He's got 14 points as well. He's got 14 points, the same as Phil Heath, 2008. What a what's the perfect word for this? Conundrum. Have you guys ever heard of that word? Well, if not, there you go. There's your first conundrum. It's a problem, I guess, that you didn't see coming, and here it is. 2 men, 14 points. Who's gonna win? I had to review all of the shots. Take everything into consideration. Here is your winner of this week's main event Monday matchup. 2008 Iron Man. Phil Heath. What a doctor. I give it to him because he had a much more aesthetically pleasing look. He would have most certainly won the symmetry round, I do believe. If that was the case, then sure, give him the win. Just the midsection, things of that nature. I think won over the size of Coleman. If Coleman had been in the condition, in particular from the front shots, then I would have given it to him because he's bigger and just as conditioned. But when all things are not equal, gotta go with the conditioning. Phil Heath, aesthetics as well. Hit thumbs up on the video, guys. This is your main event Monday, 4-way, product of your Fan Request Friday matchups. Get your request in first on your Fan Request Friday lineup. That's how you get your matchup played. And for Tuesday, has to be the one with the most thumbs up. All right, guys, that's it. And expect all kinds of videos this week. Have a great day.